See this guy? Yeah, made him from scratch. Cost me about 25p to make, and this is how I did it. I used milliput, and basically it comes in these sort of two like crazy bags, like squidgy sausage things. You get like this grey stuff in the blue bag, you get this sort of sandy sort of coloured stuff in the clear bag. And the idea is that whatever you're going to make, you use equal parts of both to make whatever you're going to make. So you have to sort of crimp off the bits that you want, and then you've got to knead them together. And this is really important. You've got to like really push them together to like get this really clingy sort of stuff that basically is that colour, which I'm going to do right now. So let's go. Okay, so I'm kneading this stuff together. You've really got to like proper push it together, like really bad. Takes about 5 minutes to get the whole thing one colour. If you see any of this sort of marbled grey and yellow texture, then you've not quite got it there. But you know, you've just got to keep it going. Just keep kneading the damn thing, you know, pressing it out, like pushing it together and stuff like that. That'll sort of help the process, make it slightly less tedious. Just fold it in, and this is what I do. So I'm sure there's probably other like really funky technological ways to do this, but you know, I'm really old school. So okay, so it's looking pretty good. You're gonna get it all over your hands, so don't worry about that. Okay, right. I'm filming this from my hand, so I'm gonna have to try and really, some of the camera angles may be really rubbish, but you know, I'm gonna do the best I can because I'm just starting out, and I just discovered this stuff, so I just feel like there's a lot of guys out there that probably could do the same thing, if not like a million times better than me. And you know, you just need a little shove forward, which is what Black Magic Craft did for me. So, right, I'm gonna roll these guys out into. I'm gonna basically pinch off sort of, you know, sort of small quantities. You've got to be not amazingly fast, but you've got to be really sort of quick, because this stuff starts to cure when it's in the air. And when it cures, it means it kind of like dries on the outside, which means that if you try and bend it, I mean, it's really malleable at the moment. It's like, you know, it's like plasticine or, you know, blue tack or whatever, you know. But once it starts curing on the outside, if you try and bend it, then it cracks, and yeah, that's not good. So you can, you know what, if you're really good, then you can use a bit of spit like I do, which is probably really lo-fi technology, but you know, I can sort of use a bit of spit to sort of like smooth in those cracks, but you know, it's not the greatest thing. So I'm going to roll some out into sort of tentacle-like sort of arrangements, and then I'll get back to you. Just hold on. Okay, these look really sad. Yeah, I know. But I'm going to use something, and I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the tutorial, but it's basically just a ridged board. This one is actually a tentacle maker, but you can use anything that's got ridges on it. I mean, you know, there's lots of things around the house or whatever that's got anything that's got a texture that's got ridges, or anything that's got sort of grooves, whatever. You can use that. So what I do is I put sort of, bear in mind I'm having to do this single-handedly, so I'm going to get rid of all these stupid little things here. So if I put this on there and I get my roller, I start to get a texture on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll out some of these tentacle things, yeah, into long shapes. And if I press really hard, which I can't quite do while I'm holding this, so I'm gonna be like, God, this is so hard. Oh, bear in mind, I'm on greaseproof paper here. This does not like to set on any surface. It will stick to it, and when you pull it off, it'll take great big chunks out. So yeah, greaseproof paper is absolutely essential. Oh God. Right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to roll them out and you'll see it afterwards. Thanks. Okay, so basically I've rolled out this sort of great big long sort of worm-like thing. And basically you've just got to coil it into the position that you want. Of course, you know, no kind of creature is going to have this sort of like bulbous end. So, you know, I'm going to sort of roll it into like a sort of a point. This end, you can do whatever you want with. I mean, you can sort of attach sort of, you can buy things which, you know, these sort of accessory shops where you get all kinds of like weird eyes and I don't know, even like, you know, jewelry accessories, and you can sort of do whatever you want. But, you know, what I like to do is sort of put these sort of, well, I'm creating like a bunch of these guys, which when I apply the ink to these guys, the ink's going to sink into this and they're going to have these fantastic, horrible heads. And I'm going to shape the end so it's, that looks really bad actually. Yeah, it's because I'm doing it with one hand, but yeah. I'm going to shape the end so it's sort of like a horrible sort of leech type, you know, blood-sucking creature. And when I've painted it, I'm gonna stick it on YouTube as well. So, you know, that's what it looked like originally. That's what it's gonna be. And when I actually create the creature, I'm gonna sort of loop it round in a really, you know, I've looked at a few pictures of snakes when they actually get sort of riled up, and I'm gonna sort of stick it in front of something so it can prop the head up. You know, just a homemade jig. And that's as easy as it is. You've got to leave it for like 3 hours. If you leave it for about an hour, it will start to set, and then you could still move it. And it will be a, you know, you can hold it into better positions when it's starting to set, but you run the risk of actually cracking the surface if you move it like in too great a detail. You know, if you pull the angles at like really acute angles, then you're going to crack the surface. So, you know, it's up to you, but you know, you just got to figure out what you're going to do beforehand. I personally draw drawings for things in advance where I want them to go, so what it looks like, so I can basically minimize the process by just getting it into the position and sticking them together. Getting them on a flat surface is really important. If you've got any kind of ridge surface when you're doing it, your mold is going to set on a ridge surface, which means when you try and put them flat, they're going to have raised edges and stuff like that. So make sure they're completely on a flat surface. Make sure they're on greaseproof paper, otherwise you're never going to get them off. And if you do, you're on the risk of, like, you know, totally trashing your models. So yeah, there you go. I'm going to experiment further and post whatever I do. Okay, bye-bye, guys.